Hi guys. Basically my name is Calove. Hello. Yep. Or Calove or Robbie if you want in real life. This is first video log I've done. Obviously I'm doing it for Simulacra and Simulation members mainly. So feel free to watch if you're not, but this is mainly directed at them. Uh, Basically I'm doing this because we've come to a stage now with our raiding where we're seeming to sort of hit a bit of a standstill. And I think there's several things that hopefully I can outline that might help certain people. Certain things that I've picked up along the way and stuff like that. Know that we're all capable raiders and stuff, but sometimes stating the obvious helps and stuff. So yeah, so there's a few things that I'm going to cover. First one is physical layout of your desk, your mouse and your keyboard basically. Second one is your computer itself, like optimizing your graphic settings and why a decent computer can't help. Thirdly, we're going to go into your WoW interface and your add-ons. Some other useful tips that I've picked up along the way, which may help certain people, maybe more healer specific, but I'm sure there's certain things for each one of you. And finally, down to skill and reaction, which I'm going to go into a little bit more depth about when I come to it, because it's probably the most important thing overall. So first and foremost, I've said I'm going to go over your desk and that. One of the main things is have a tidy desk, guys. I mean, it may seem mundane concept and pretty daft, but if you've got a can of Coke sat next to your mouse and you need to drag your mouse across the screen for some reason or another, and you knock the Coke all over your keyboard, then it's going to fuck up. Excuse my language. It's going to mess up your fundamental capabilities for raiding. If you need to pop a button, heroic will on attraction, heroic, it's quite simply a wipe. If each one of us does that, fail basically. The second part of that is the position on the keyboard. I mean, I don't know, I've just sort of pulled the camera down a little bit. This webcam's not great, but I sort of have mine on a slight right incline. Reason for that is quite purely because it suits my hand shape and my positioning, so that I can practically memorize the keys from 1 to 10 without even looking, or 1 to 0 if you like, the end of the spectrum, without even looking. Another thing is the position of your mouse. Again, that's completely individual and that's kind of obvious, but get your mouse in a comfortable position, usually about shoulder width apart from where your left hand positions on your keyboard, which kind of allows for comfortableness and clear maneuverability. The final thing with the layout of your desk is that I generally have my monitor on a slight upwards tilt. It's just more for comfort of my own head and stuff. I mean, I work with computers all day anyway, so it sort of goes with the territory. But I find that looking down, having an abstract view, gives you a better one than head on, and comfort and such. If you're fidgeting, it's just not going to help. So yeah, that's the first thing. The layout of your keyboard, your mouse, your monitor may seem slightly mundane, but I mean, comfort, with the whole positioning and such, it does help slightly. If we're going to be sat wiping for quite a while. Second thing is your computer. Now, I hadn't actually opened my computer, so you're only going to see the case, but as you can see, it's kind of a little pretty machine. It's an Antec Lamboy gaming case, really nice airflow in there, etc, etc. But basically in there I've got an i5 Sandy Bridge processor. I haven't clocked it because no need. It's running at 3.3. It's beautiful. I've got 2 times 4 gig of Corsair Dominator running at 1866, which is the top speed, which again is not loads. I could probably get up to 32 in there, I think, but it's enough for what I use my computer for. Also, I've got a Radeon 5830 graphics card in there, which is I think it's a gig of onboard graphics. So again, it's not state of the art, but it does the trick for me. Runs WoW absolutely like a dream. You might think again, one other thing that I failed to mention is my motherboard. which are kind of obviously the main components. So one of those new hybrid drives and such forth can help as well nowadays for certain things, but I still think that that's a bit of an elitist thing. Again, it's not necessary. But your motherboard, don't skank on your motherboard if you're going to buy a new PC. I've got an Asus P8 Z6H, which has got loads of cool little features, etc., etc. But the main thing is it just clocks everything like bang on for me. It's absolutely beautiful. It's like plug in, go, yeah, awesome, no problems. But yeah, I mean, you might think that I'm rambling on about a decent computer, but it helps. I mean, not least because it renders your graphics quicker. Certain computers may not cope with certain graphically demanding phases, such as decals in relation to certain boss encounters. I mean, it's quite simple. For example, if person A's computer renders a graphics 0.4 seconds, then person B's computer, theoretically, person A will react 0.4 seconds quicker than person B. If you followed that. I mean, it's not an exact science, as we all know, because you have to account for individuals' reaction speeds and human error, but it's still better to have the advantage before you start, than not. I mean, why not at the end of the day? I mean, we all know, for example, your Sage heroic seconds count. I mean, as I said, it's not essential, but it gives you an instant advantage. Why not have it? What is more important than the graphics settings you choose, and obviously that's with regular relation to WoW itself. Turning up certain graphically demanding things and turning down others for certain fights will help. But basically, the standard of the PC and the hardware, you don't need to mess about with that. I don't need to. I just put recommended settings and bang, it's beautiful. I mean, there's the odd occasion, the odd fight where I will sort of tweak it a little bit, but generally speaking, I've absolutely no need to. The other thing is, obviously, I mean, as a pure sort of side aesthetic note, is that better graphics, better computer, etc. Just like it'll render further. So you'll be able to see more of the WoW world, and basically it just looks prettier. It's an added bonus and such forth. It also aids your peripheral vision with the likes of, I don't know, for example, your Sage heroic. You can see where the user's coming from. I know that we had to set markers up closer to the boss for some of those that probably had the weak computers, so that they could see it. Whereas I could see all the way out, all the way around around the arena, I'm going to say, but obviously you know what I mean, the actual setting for the boss. So yeah, I mean, now I'm sort of I'm going to go into the bit nittier grittier and such forth. So I've covered the physical layout. I've covered why a good computer can help. So you've had your physical layout with your desk, etc., and you've had your good computer and such. So those are two sort of minor details. The third thing is your WoW interface layout and your add-ons. My first tip, and I mean, if you've watched any sort of WoW blogger, they'll tell you not to overdo it with the add-ons. Now, I've got WoW open right now, but I'm not going to flip my screen round. Oh, I suppose I should do. I'll let you have a little look, basically. Just ignore the video, etc. But yeah, I mean, if you can see my screen there, it's fairly basic. There's not loads and loads going on. I'll sort of explain exactly the reasoning why behind, like, I don't have loads and loads. Some of the add-ons are hidden, so you won't got it. You can't see it all there. I turn certain things on and off for raiding and that, but basically, yeah, just don't overdo it with the add-ons. Now, as everyone in our guild will know, if anyone else is watching this, I'm a holy priest. So, for my action bars, I use dominoes. I mean, it can be slightly annoying for configuring certain classes with transformations or phasing and such as druids. I mean, Shadow Priest for me, for example, as you'll need to configure your bars multiple times. And you'll also have to, any changes you make to your action bars means you'll have to do it with the same phase and such. So, that can be slightly annoying. Druids in particular, because obviously you can change them from feral and bear, etc. It might not be the add-on of choice for you, but generally speaking, it allows me to, tweak everything basically. But I mean, the good thing is obviously, thankfully for me, it doesn't actually affect my chakra state, which would have been a bit of a pain in the backside. But despite some of the annoyances, like with Domino's, it compiles with all the fundamental requirements for any raider, basically top and bottom of it. It allows me to resize, adjust, and customize according to anyone's personal preference, really, like whatever you want, size, etc. I mean, my bars I'm really happy with. So it also allows you to create keybinds and such forth. I mean, for example, for me, it really is fantastic to be able to press control on one. I think you use for like life grip or whatever you want to call it. It also allows me to input my potions and my trinkets and any macros I may call it in my bars and